guys. How are you?
Hey.
Welcome to the Mayor of Rock and Roll, everybody.
Yeah,
Tonight,
baby.
we have a great guest coming on. This is going to be an awesome night, man. We have Larry Romano. Everybody
Yeah,
knows him
baby.
from the King of Queens, and he has an impressive IMBD page. He's a wonderful guy, and we're going to talk to him tonight about a lot of projects he's involved in and things he has done and will be doing. So I want to welcome Sal. I call him Sriracha the hot sauce, Sergio. And I got Gene Perio, this is the Hamilton radio guy. Larry, welcome to the show.
Hey.
And it's exciting. I'm so excited right now with this. I mean, we all waited all week for this. So
Cool.
how you doing? And you can, just tell us everything about what you are doing and what you're going to do and where you are also right now.
Yeah, well, the most important thing in my life right now is the things that I'm doing for people that need my fellow Americans. Right now, we're working with United Breast Cancer Foundation, and obviously they help Americans who have going through cancer. And how I'm doing that is I donated something. It's precious to me. It's the leather jacket that I wore on the King of Queens. Uh-oh, what happened? Did I disappear? Oh, there it is. Yep, there I go. Vivica Fox will be there as well. What goes on in America, and I think plenty of you know that you get sick in America, you get cancer, who's covering your medical bills? And if you fall behind in your rent, you fall behind your mortgage, the bank takes it. And there's no cushion there for our fellow Americans. I think that's terrible. It's terrible, and nobody is addressing it. It's an election year, but I don't hear anybody talking about that. I don't hear anybody saying that they have a solution for it, and that includes both parties. They're talking about things that really don't really matter. What really matters right now is that we have people in our country who are sick, who have cancer, and the bank is taking their house.
Right.
So if you really care about the American people, or you say that you care about the American people, but this is not at the forefront of what you're discussing, well, I call donkey dust. You're full of it.
Right.
So don't tell me that you're for the American people if you're not addressing this issue. And of course, the issue that leads up to cancer is that we have a tainted food supply. And obviously we have one guy that's talking about it, and he had been talking about it all year. It's a guy that I've been listening to, and we know who that is. I won't say no names, but these are very important issues here, man.
Right.
And we're looking at a couple of weeks, but who's addressing it? Larry Romano's addressing it. And we are all addressing it together right now as fellow Americans.
Right.
I think it's disgusting that they've been able to divide us by red and blue, masked, unmasked, vax, non-vax. The rhetoric from both sides is toxic. And I'm just going to call for all my fellow Americans to stop, man. Just stop. Wake up, man. They don't want you to be, the term waking up, that's a good thing when you wake up. And they want to take waking up and they take woke and they want to turn it into something else. Well, we're not going to allow that to happen.
Right.
It's time for everybody to wake up and smell the Cafe Bustelo.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to help these women, these people who have cancer and they're losing their houses? They don't have medical coverage. Who's going to do that? Well, I'm here. I'm going to do that. November 9th, we got the gala event at Leonard's of Great Neck.
Right.
And you could go online. You could take a chance, whether you like me or not, whether you like the King of Queens or not, whether you have a leather jacket already and you don't want another one. If you got a leather jacket, I'm also throwing in an autograph script from Kristen Chenoweth from a TV show I did with her. It's also autographed by Mindy Sterling, who's a fantastic, terrific actress you might know from Austin Powers. So the most important thing for us all right now is I could sit here and talk to you about this movie that I got. I could talk to you about this music that I got, but that's not at the forefront of why I'm here. The forefront of why I'm here right now is that we need to get together as Americans and stand up and stop the nonsense and start helping our fellow Americans, man. And that's what's up. And I appreciate, very grateful that you're giving me this opportunity to do this.
No,
And
it's great.
also,
I'm glad that you could put all your proceeds of this jacket is going to go to the United Federation of Cancer. That is an awesome thing. I have cancer in my family, and I know what it's like. So that's a great thing that you're doing, Larry. I really appreciate it.
we all have somebody in our family. We have our friends who have been through this terrible disease. And, why are we not standing together as Americans? Why are we allowing ourselves to be divided by red and blue, Democrat, Republican, when we should be standing up for our own, for each other and the food supply?
Right.
We have a terrible food supply. We spoke about McDonald's just previously. I'm here in Germany, and if you go to a McDonald's, the ingredients that they are allowed to put into McDonald's food, you're not allowed to use the same ingredients that they use in America.
Right.
And in America, McDonald's is poisoning us.
Yeah.
McDonald's if you says during the pandemic, they says if you don't wear a mask, if you don't get a vax, you're a drag on the healthcare system. Well, the real drag on the healthcare system is the processed food.
Right.
It's the processed food.
Making
They're the enemy. That's the enemy right there. It's the food. I guess you could say the Food and Drug Administration. That's our enemy. And that's the common enemy. That's something that we all could get together and say, because each and every one of us have to eat. We have cities in America where they don't have clean drinking water.
Yeah, true.
And you're going to tell me, I come to Germany, I could go into the faucet, and I'm sure they got issues here. And I've seen maybe some of them. I'm not sure really, because the roads are smooth. When you get on the Autobahn, man, I went to PaisanCon back in April, and I got a couple things that happened down at that, and on my way back. And the only reason I did PaisanCon is because the people at PaisanCon, they allowed me to donate all the proceeds from my signatures, because I don't sign. I've never done autograph shows, but I was able to. I says, listen, I'll do it, but all my proceeds are going to Tunnel of Towers.
Oh, very good. That's
nice.
awesome.
Thank you.
And that's the way it goes. And, I sent out, text messages to people, and, one guy, he's a Long Islander. I'm not going to mention names. Oh, this liberal stuff, I'm not going to support this liberal. He didn't even read into what I was doing. He's just profiling me because I am known as an actor, and he's just profiling. I'm not going to be supporting no liberal nothing. Support liberal what? I'm supporting Tunnel of Towers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this guy has a lot of money, but obviously he doesn't. It just goes to show you, having a lot of money first of all, doesn't make you a good person, and it doesn't make you smart.
He wasn't trying what you were trying to say and do. They just sometimes people just have a veil over themselves. They have their ears. They don't understand. They need to listen more. And great thing that
you're just ready to jump on it, man. It's like, here I am saying, okay, I'm going to be at PaisanCon. I'm going to be signing autographs. I'm going out of my pocket. I'm driving all the way to New York. I'm putting myself up in a hotel. I'm printing the t-shirts. I'm signing autographs. I'm not making a nickel out of this thing. And I'm donating all proceeds to Tunnels to Towers. And this guy is calling me, I'm not supporting liberal this, liberal that. Well, what are you talking about, man? What are you jumping on? What are you snorting? What are you drinking?
Dobbins said, people need to get educated. You're right, Cheryl. People are not educated enough to understand. You're talking to people not educated in their thinking and knowing what's going on. They don't pay attention. So when you do say that, you will trigger people. That's what happens. People get triggered. That's why you have to. You know what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. I really do.
Right, and it's time for all this rhetoric coming out of people like this particular individual who's just full of piss and vinegar. And this is a person that's been fortunate to be in America. He's obviously acquired a fortune, and not too shy to flaunt his opulence. And right away to jump on people like myself, who is going out there and help. And if he really wanted to help people, he would go and write the check himself.
Yeah,
he would go and say, "Here's my," and maybe he does. But to say, I'm saying here, oh, I'm going to go do an autograph show. I never do them, and all proceeds are going to Tunnel of Towers. And before even getting into it, I don't support no liberal this, that, that. Okay, oh really? Okay. like I says, either you're snorting something in that particular moment or you're drinking. And you're just so high on criticizing your fellow Americans that you're just ready to jump. And it's like, I know there are actors. I'm not going to mention names. They've expressed themselves and their political opinions, which in America we are entitled to do.
Mm-hmm.
But for the rest of America to understand that these particular actors or celebrities or movie stars, they do not represent the acting community wholeheartedly. They don't represent me.
You
I
are
don't.
one in a kind. I know we talked about also when you do casting and you do movies, you are
Mhm.
the underdog, which I liked about that conversation I spoke about. Gene and Sal, Larry likes to incorporate the people that are not like SAG up there. He likes that new person coming in because we were speaking about that, correct, Larry? How
Yeah.
they're all.
I mean, as far as acting is concerned, acting is a very difficult job. You have to go on the audition, you have to go on the audition again, you have to go on the callback. You got to go. I mean, I've been through so many test deals where you got to go in front of the studio and, you're sweating it. And obviously, I've landed a few. And then once you get the job, then you got to do the job. And then that's like homework. I mean, it's a 24/7 because that's a character that's sticking with you the whole time. And that's really cool. I could deal with that. What it's tough for me to do is that when you're an actor, you have to get your 8 hours sleep. You have to drink your water. You have to really be, in that place. And it's very difficult. I've done it. I'm fortunate. And now I'm like onto the place where I don't have to be so concerned with getting 8 hours sleep or drinking water or how my face looks because I could write and direct.
Right.
And the upside of that is that I'm not putting myself in my movies.
Right.
I'm giving other actors the opportunities for them to shine. And I think that the actors that I cast in the movie, and there was 3 roles in the movie that I could have played, and the roles that I would have just been so gun ho to get, and when I was acting, and all 3 of them they just did a great job, man. They really did, yeah, and I commend them.
You're also involved with the military dogs. You were talking about something with that. Explain that also to the audience. That sounded very nice.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I came to Germany was with the USO, supporting our troops. It's very important to me. I think that if anything, if there are people in America that make America great, it's the men and women of the United States military. What I learned when I first visited the troops is that, it's sad because we have a reputation of invading other nations that say, oh, they're a threat to us. Well, they're so far away, they can't even get to us, but we're a threat. But the United States military, I mean, they're the ones that are coming there when there's a tsunami, when there's a hurricane. They're just so helpful and the most unselfish human beings I had ever met in my life. And it stuck with me. So I've been working to do whatever I can to help them. And I linked up with America's Vet Dogs. And that's an event on November 11th at Mulcahy's.
Yes.
And what they do is they train these dogs for the veterans, where veterans that maybe need seeing eye dogs or a friend, passionate. There's no friend like a dog. When they say a dog is a man's best friend, you can't reinvent the wheel. It's true. There's no love like the love of a dog.
Right.
So what they're doing is also awesome because they're helping veterans, man. And I'm donating my wardrobe from the Thin Red Line.
Oh, wow.
The movie I did with Sean Penn and Jimmy Caviezel was Jimmy's first big movie.
Nice.
And, I learned a lot on that movie. It's very authentic World War II stuff. The boots, the gaiters, the shirt, the whole bit. And, that was just a heck of an experience. I lived in Australia for 5 months working on that movie in the Daintree rainforest. It was really,
that must have been awesome. Wow,
it was awesome. And what I learned a lot was like, when you watch a movie like Private Ryan, everybody's like, yeah, go get him. It's a lot of propaganda, but that's not war, man.
Right.
Nobody wants to, nobody wants to land on a beach and get shot at.
Right.
Right. And what Terrence Malick was able to do with that movie, because he's not a rah-rah shish kumbah guy, what he was able to do, if you really sit down and watch that movie, it's the true horror of war.
Yeah.
It's the true horror of war.
Right.
And we would go on night maneuvers because we trained in boot camp. We had military lieutenants and sergeants who were training us, and we would go on it. And being an actor, being a creative sort, you have this imagination. And my partner on that movie, we were mortar men. Tim Blake Nelson, you might know Tim from quite a few movies that he's done. And as we're doing it and we're going through these night maneuvers, I'm thinking, like, if this was real, I could be looking over to my right, and the guy that was like just having conversation with just got his head blown off.
Yeah.
And then I said to myself, isn't it something that at that time Clinton was the president? How is it that we have a president?
Oh, we lost him.
He'll come back. He's in a.
He might have gotten a call. Now, was he just talking about the movie Private Ryan?
Yeah. He'll come back on. Somebody must have nailed him. That's what happened to me last week, remember? But anyway, so when he comes back on, guys, Sal, you got to bring up that you were in a lot of movies with him. You have the tapes behind you, and I think he's coming back, guys.
I'm letting you guys do your thing. Friend, your sound has been bad throughout the whole show.
I don't know what's going on. You still can't hear me good?
No, you sound like all messed up. When the show's over, you'll see it and hear it.
I don't know why.
I don't know what it is, right, Gene?
Yeah. Everybody's complaining about it, though, too. It's not just us.
I know. I don't like this because I want to.
And that's probably why you are having a hard time hearing us, too.
Well, now I hear you guys good, but you still hear me like bad?
It's not that bad. I mean, it's better than it was before.
No, but now you sound good. I'm wondering.
Hey.
There you are. You had a call come in?
No, man, I got, what, I don't know what's going on with my internet, but yeah, picking up right where I left off is like, one of the things that, I came to light for me when I was doing the Thin Red Line is that, I was like, okay, this is a horrible thing. War is a horrible thing. And at that time, Clinton was the president. And, I think he was the first president that we had that didn't serve in the military. And how is that we have a president that sends other mothers' children's off to war when they haven't been there themselves?
Yeah.
And that was a very enlightening experience for me. And it stuck with me all through these years. And I just don't buy it, man. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Ulysses S. Grant, General George Washington. These are the guys that were, when you say every president has their fault, right? But when you go on Wikipedia and you start looking at, the presidents that were war heroes, they actually got their hands, they spilled blood. They spilled their own blood for this nation.
Right.
And, we're in a place right now where, how many in a row? It's like 6 in a row that have not served. So it's very difficult for me to be with the men and women of the United States military. And, I'm saying this, they're not saying that because they serve our country and they're not going to show dissension in the family. But the truth of the matter is that General Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States of America.
Right.
That's the guy I'm following. But obviously, that's not happening now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I've noticed something got to do whenever Larry's back on, her sound gets bad again. Did you notice that, Gene? When Larry just was gone, her sound was perfect. Something's going on with maybe from Germany.
Fran's mic is so weird sometimes, Larry. We really don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I have
but I heard she makes a mean lasagna. So I just had lasagna here in Germany that was off the charts, man. There's a lot of Italians here, a lot of Italian people here in Germany.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard Germany has a lot of Italian in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Now you were talking about that movie that you did. Who was the actor? I remember when Private Ryan came out, there was an actor who it was so real that he couldn't take it. quit that it freaked him out.
You mean on the Thin Red Line?
No, not Thin Red Line. Private Ryan. I know you were in the Thin Red Line, but I
Yeah,
remember an interview from one of the actors saying it was so scary and real. He
mhm.
couldn't take it. He had to quit. He quit the movie, and he was a well-known actor. I can't remember who it was.
I don't remember,
But
no.
you said-
But that was a serious
Realistic.
movie. You know, that was beautiful. The way they shot that opening sequence when they're storming the beach in Normandy, that was incredible.
Oh yeah, no. And,
You know who stormed the beach too, Yogi? Huh?
When you mentioned that, that's what it made me think of. I remember one of the actors. He said it was so scary that he felt so real that he had to quit. He couldn't continue doing the.
Well, that's a great filmmaker there. You're talking about Steven Spielberg, you know. So these guys are the real deal, man. You know, and I mean, it's just that that's an intense scene right there. You know, it's very intense.
Yeah,
Well,
those kind of movies, you know.
You and Sal have been in a couple of things, even though you guys don't know each other till now. Sal said he has a lot of videos with your movies that he's involved with, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, me and
You got the ones where I got my clothes on, I hope, right?
me and Larry never met in person, but we worked. Let me put my sound a little louder. But we worked with a lot of the same people. William Forsythe. So many people work with the same guy.
He's a terrific actor, man. William Forsythe. I did a movie with Danny Aiello III. May he rest in peace.
Oh, I love him.
Vinny Pastore. 18 Shades of Dust. Vinny Pastore was in the movie as well, and he was doing the first season of The Sopranos, going back and forth from our set to The Sopranos. What's that? Oh, Hitman's Journal. Hitman's Journal. That's what it is, right? It was 18 Shades of Dust. It's Hitman's Journal, right? Danny Aiello.
They changed the name for whatever reason. This is the original, right? When it first came out, this is the original title of the movie. Your picture is right on the back.
Oh, wow. Really?
See, where's my finger? Yeah, over here.
I didn't know that.
See,
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see yourself.
No, I can't really, but you know, Danny Aiello III, he shot that beautifully. It looks really good, the movie, and it's Yeah,
you're in the car with Vinny Pastore here. This is the scene when you have the gun to his neck. He has the gun to William Forsythe's neck.
Yeah, that was that was a fun movie, man. That's one of the scenes that I really enjoy doing. I don't like to watch the stuff that I've done. I don't really like to, but that's a scene. I really dig that scene. I really like another scene that I did with Mickey Rourke in a movie called Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet.
Yeah.
I have about 1,000 DVDs in my little closet.
That's great, man. That's great.
A bunch of stuff that you're in, but I never met you in person. I just watched I've had it for a while. Laugh, Kill a Laugh.
All right, yeah.
Kamal's movie.
Yeah, William Forsythe is just, William Forsythe is he's a great actor.
Good friend of mine. I got him in the movie called Jesse with me. I got him the part in the movie, and we did a whole scene. I'll send it to you in your messenger.
He's one of those guys that really digs deep. You know, he's not scratching the surface. William Forsythe, he digs deep, man.
He likes
really
does.
He does it, man. You know. I'm wearing my Tito's bandana. I got this. We were doing a fundraiser for dog shelters in St. Louis, Missouri, and Tito's hooked us up. So because we talked about our hair. You remember we talked about our hair. Look at my hair. We got it, right?
He's always talking about his hair, Sal.
Oh man, what are you gonna do? But I think you got a lot more than me, man. And we were talking about this. I'm not plugging it, but I told my friend in Germany. I says, look, I don't want to pack my shampoo, but I need some shampoo. Maybe you guys got something good. And I looked up with this stuff, and I'm like, it's got coffee in it, so I don't have to even drink coffee in the morning. I just got to shampoo my head. Imagine.
Yeah, they have now shampoos that you don't need water. I have one of those inside just in case you're on the road or whatever. Just put it in the hair and then wash the hair without water.
Oh,
see that?
Yeah, that's the stuff you put in your hair, and if you don't want to. Yeah.
It's called dry shampoo.
Yeah.
That's it, dry shampoo.
Yeah. In that too.
Yeah. Laugh, Kill the Laugh. That was Kamal's movie from the Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
I think I had told you that he was going to use me in the movie. He sent me an email. And I never saw it until they already started filming. And then weeks later, I got an email. I said, Kamal, did you want to ask me something? Because I wanted to put you in my movie, but you never got back to me. I said, oh, okay. So I guess
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
my fault,
So
yeah.
Larry, you and Sal have something in common. You both Larry plays music, and you heard his music. I sent you something. I sent you Sal. He's a really good musician. Believe it or not, I didn't know he did that until he sent me his music. He also directs, produces, writes. He does everything. So it's like that Richie from the King of Queens, and I didn't know your whole background until now. And it's like you were so involved in so many things, and I love the way you are compassionate with animals. You know me; we spoke about this. I love
Yeah,
animals, and he's the same as I. And I
yeah,
like the way
yeah,
he's involved with so much of the breast cancer and everything. So you have a really good background, and I'm really glad that we speak and we all were able to get you on here tonight and talk about this. But what
yeah.
else would you want to talk about? Gene, you have anything to ask him?
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask him some questions about King of Queens. I'm like, how did you get along with the cast on King of Queens? Kevin James and Leah Remini, all them people. How did you get along with them?
We got along, I was on the first two seasons there, and I was just stereotypical. I think one thing I need to say about Hollywood, and you could take it any way, people can take it any way you want, but my options in Hollywood is either playing the dumb dago or the guinea gangster, but never the guy that invented the radio, Marconi. And that gets a little stale real fast, man. As an actor, my passion is music. What the King of Queens afforded me was it afforded me the ability to pay musicians, help them pay their rent, and we cut 3 albums with some really heavy cats, man, like the rhythm section, the drummer Ty Dennis, and the bass player Angelo Barbera. They just cut some tracks with Alex Lifeson from Rush.
Oh, nice.
And just got in contact with the fellow who produced and engineered 2 of the 3 records that we did, and we were talking about a guy by the name of Lance Morrison who played bass, and I have Lance on a couple tracks that I did outside of that band. And Lance is he played on Jagged Little Pill where Flea didn't play. So musically, I've played with some of the best. They are unknowns, kind of like the Wrecking Crew.
Right.
And I was able to catch them when they were on their way up. And what the King of Queens did is it afforded me the ability to create music. All people used to say, "Why are you putting your money into music? Go buy a house, go buy a Maserati." It's like, well, listen, I really don't. Maseratis are cool, but they're really not my cup of tea. And a car is a car, man. I like looking at cars when somebody else is driving them and down the road. But I just don't. To me, it's like a bad relationship. They're money pit, and I just don't look. Everybody got their own thing.
Right.
I chose to take my money from the King of Queens and invest it into art, and invest it into music and rock and roll. And now we got all these tracks, and they're going to be there forever. And they're slamming. You guys, music, what's up. So what the King of Queens did is it afforded me to the ability to create more music, create art. And now I'm here in Germany. There's a big King of Queens fan fest, and they're looking forward to seeing me. I'm looking forward to seeing them. So that's what the King of Queens was to me. Obviously, it was a great show. It was a hit show. During the production of the show, one time I said to one of the producers, I says, it's we're getting paid a lot of money, and we're not curing cancer here. And what he said to me, he goes, yeah, but that's not our job. He says, you're not curing cancer, but what you're doing is you're giving people who have cancer something to laugh about when they're going through it. And that was our role, and that's what we did, and that's what we do, And now, obviously, if I didn't do the King of Queens, I wouldn't have that leather jacket to donate and to help people who have cancer. So we may not be curing it, but it depends on what gets you, what gets you high, man. What floats your boat. Does getting in a car that's $100,000 and can drive on the LIE and hit potholes and get stuck in traffic, does that float your boat? Well, to each their own.
Right.
What floats my boat is the fact of the matter that, I have an opportunity here in United Breast Cancer Foundation and America's Vet Dogs. They're great people. They have more to do with this than I do because they're the nuts and bolts of it. I'm the icing on the cake. And here we are, November 9th. Where we go? I lost you.
No, he's putting it back on again.
Oh,
He's putting
yeah.
it
Vivica Fox will be there, and you could hit the link, and you could buy a raffle, and
right.
and how do you feel about yourself going forward?
Yeah, the raffles are going to be. They're on your page, correct? LarryRomano.com. What is that again?
I think it's on my YouTube, and then of course it's United Breast Cancer Foundation. If you go to their site and you hit the button, and you have an opportunity to win this leather jacket, and it's a piece of TV history. And then there's also the Kristen Chenoweth autograph script that you have a chance to win that. But I think that more importantly, if you get to feel good about helping your fellow Americans.
That's right.
Who are getting,
great Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Also, I watched the video. You have a hat as well that's going with the jacket.
Oh, the IPS hat. Yeah. I guess,
I'm watching you, brother. I've been watching all your stuff with the hat.
That's an original hat. I've had that hat since 1998, and it's been preserved. I never sweated on it, and I would guess that's part of the package. I don't know if they're putting that as part of the package, or maybe it'll be a console, like another prize,
Yeah, be good.
I mean, you could have those hats made up, I'm sure, if you want to, but that's the original.
Exactly.
That's the original. It's from 1998.
Yeah, there's a lot of people go crazy over that. Even like the chiller conventions, people buy that they had props on the set or whatever. You go to chiller convention. You got guys selling the jackets, the pink lady jacket, the T-Bird jackets. The originals, the Warriors. They're all friends of mine. They do that too.
That's a great movie, isn't it? The Warriors, and then there's the Wanderers. Remember the Wanderers?
Oh, I remember.
My favorite movies of all time.
Oh,
yeah.
The Wanderers, the Wanderers, the first time I saw it, I've literally watched it over 100 times. I could do and the first time I've seen, you remember Womeco, WHT, Womeco Home Theater before cable? You remember that?
Oh, that's cool.
And you paid like $20 a month. This was in the 70s.
Yeah.
WHT was at the home theater, and they would send you a little booklet, and they play like about 10 different movies a month. And The Wanderers was one of them. That's the first time, and I was hooked. I mean, I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I have the DVD, VHS, and Michael Wright. Very good friend of mine, Michael Wright. That was his first movie. He was the leader of the Black Gang, Clinton Stitch. And
Danny Aiello III was in that movie too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was one of the Baldies.
Yeah, he was a Fordham Baldy. Yeah. Danny Aiello III, and he worked on the movie I did with Sylvester Stallone, Lockup. That's where I first met Danny Aiello III, and when in between movies we spent a lot of time hanging out. And a lot of good memories with Danny III. Yeah. May he rest in peace. Yeah, he had the pancreatic cancer, and Ricky too. Ricky got the pancreatic cancer too.
Yeah. I met Danny at the Belmore Film Festival a year before he passed away. He was the sweetest, nicest man, down to earth. He was like one of those actors that he didn't let that get him. He was just down. He said, "Sit down with us, hang out with us." He just was like treating everybody like they were just a regular person, and I love that. And I miss him. When I heard that he passed away, I got very upset about that.
By the way, we got to give a shout out to Paul out there. Paul, Larry, my friend Paul Ali. He's the one who put that poster together and put your song on the poster.
Oh, yeah.
Paul,
now.
Thank you, Paul. All right, Paul Ali. Thank you very much for assisting there.
Yeah, he does great work with our posters every week. I really appreciate that, Paul. You're cool, man. He put Larry's song on there also. So back to that, Larry, with the songs. You have the 1998 now, Rockin' the Bronx,
Rockin' the
right?
Bronx, yeah. I first came up with that song in '93 when I first cut those tracks, and it was before, the Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams years. It was when the Yankees were just really they stunk. But I love the Yankees. I love that ballpark, the original Yankee Stadium, the tradition of the Yankees, and it was like they had gone through quite a long dry spell there between '78 and 93, that didn't matter to me because that was my team, and I wrote that song, "Rockin' the Bronx." We did another version. In 1994, which was the strike shortened season. And then, I kind of just threw 96, 98, and 99 on that as well because those were champions. And the version that you have is the 1998 version, "Rockin' the Bronx." And that's it just comes from my heart, man. That one.
Yeah, Gene, I sent you. Get it? I sent it to your email.
I have the big city one. That's the only one I got.
Oh, really?
I sent you the Rockin' in the box in your email. I sent it to you.
I checked. I didn't see it again.
Did you check your spam?
It's up on YouTube. That particular video. I think
Larry, we're gonna sing it live.
I can do the YouTube one.
Yeah, get the YouTube one if you can get
Rip
it.
it up, man. Well, you probably got a lot of Met fans in your audience. They'll be like,
I'm a Yankee fan. No.
Okay.
Let's do the YouTube. Here we go.
Hit the YouTube. 1998.
Here we go, guys.
Yankee Stadium, the house that Root built, home of the Bronx Bombers, winning the 20-something World Series. Derek, Tony, Lazeri, Martin, where it all began. The 27 murderers row, Joe and Maggio, right here in the Bronx. Hello, fellas. Vicky, Mickey, Neil, Yogi Berra, Elston, Howard, Whitey, Ford, Lewis, Judo, Billy Martin, the Professor, Casey Sting, legends of baseball, 4 decades of dominance, 30 straight Mayo pennants, Don Larson's perfect game, forget about it. Nobody rocks! Yemenin boys, like we rock in the Bronx. It's an attitude, boy. Nobody rocks! Ball takes the reins, like we rock in the Bronx. The Jambles is the home of 76. Reggie Banks, 3 of 77. Bucky up in Fenway. Nettles, Munson, Lyle, Randolph, Rivers, Roy White, Vanilla, Figueroa, Gibby, Catfish, and the Boots. So Tory Watson in the stick, bring another ring with the Lakers bomb in 96, and now we're at it again. Burn, Bush, Stanton, Knobloch, Cone, Pettit, Arabu, Soho, Jack Curtis, and the Wells perfect game. Sada, Girardi, El Duque, Mendoza, Reigns, Martinez, Darryl, Brocious, Davis, Flade, Paul O'Neill, Holmes, Derek Jeter, Nelson Lloyd, Rivera, Independent, Spencer, rounding the bases. They were all summer long, we've been going crazy in the bleachers, watching the Bombers do their thing. And pretty soon that World Series flag will once again be flying proud on 161 and River up in the Bronx. Nobody rocks! I could hear him now. Like we rock in the Bronx. An attitude, boy. Nobody rocks! The beast of the East. Like we rock in the Bronx. Nobody rocks! And while you're in our splendid borough, like we rock in the Bronx. Head up north a bit, check out the zoo. Nobody rocks! Like we rock in the Bronx. You wear them pinstripes proud. Yankee tradition, baby.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, man. That's some heavy cats. That's Lance Morrison on bass. He was the guy who ended up playing on Alanis's album, and Ty Dennis on the drums, and the guys playing the horns, it's Lee Thornburg and Tom Pollock. They played with Tower Power. They're hammering, and that logo right there, that's the Swamp Dragon. He's the Swamp Dragon that ate Yankee Stadium, That's the original Yankee Stadium. Broke my heart when they knocked that baby down,
Yeah. Me too.
One thing that, I'm here in Germany, and obviously they've been through their stuff, and with World War II and a lot of stuff got bombed, but they don't, I was in Vienna last week, and they don't knock down their buildings. When you go into, in America, whether it's the South Bronx and the north side of St. Louis, you have all this old, beautiful architecture that's, been, abandoned, and it's in rubble, and, or it's burned for insurance money. And, coming here and see how these people are just preserving these beautiful, beautiful buildings.
Yeah, Europe is like that. Europe.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the
Oh,
States, and what's the purpose of just these beautiful buildings that were in the Bronx and all these sections of across America, and I mean, look at it, man, and then they replace them with these rinky-dink, shabby places. What's our purpose as Americans?
Yeah.
What do we stand for? What's our culture? I mean, I get into Frank Zappa, and I look at Frank Zappa, and I listen to him listen to him talk, and he talks about, we think we're all of that, we think we're all of that, but there are countries in this world that they have centuries and centuries of history with folk songs and cultures and architecture that's, this country right here, Germany's been through wars, but they've still been able to maintain these beautiful buildings.
Yeah.
And you go look at the skyline of Manhattan, you look at these tall 120-story buildings that they're putting up. To what purpose?
Right.
To what is the purpose? And we talk about as being Americans, which, what do we stand for, man? We're going to sit here and argue with each other over red or blue, vax, not non-vax, mask, non-vax. It's like, and then you come to a place over here and you're just like, like I said, I'm sure they have their issues, but who are we as Americans? What do we stand for?
Yeah.
Food is tainted. We have cities where there's not even clean drinking water. And then they're putting up 120-story buildings in Manhattan where people don't even live there.
Yeah, I understand because I see it. It's terrible. You're right.
It's disgusting. And our currency, for the material, our currency says, "In God we trust." It's on a dollar bill, and I'm just realizing that the euro doesn't say that. And I don't think there's any other currency across the world, and if there is, please enlighten me, that uses God on a dollar bill.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I could change positively is to change the mindset of the American people to, really get into the spiritual. Don't tell me that you believe in God or Jesus Christ and all this other stuff. Don't tell me about it. Prove it to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Prove it to me. And I think that what United Breast Cancer Foundation and the people that are working there, what they're proving, what the people at America's Vet Dogs, what they're proving that, what matters most to them is our fellow Americans.
Right, exactly.
And those are the people that I want to be with. And I'm with the people of the United States military. That's never going to change, man.
Yeah, me too.
Those are my numero unos. And even as far as doing fundraisers for the first responders, like we did with Tunnel to Towers, that's where it's all at, man. That's where it's all at. And I just hope that we could get together and be united. I went to a church here in the north of Germany, up by the North Sea. It was built in 1706.
Wow.
And it's still there. And you go inside those walls and, I just sat there. I took video at first. And then I just had to go back and I just had to sit there in silence. And once again, I'll go back to, you can see the pictures of the South Bronx. You can see the pictures of the north side of St. Louis where the churches are burned down. They're abandoned.
Yeah.
And we really need to re-examine. I already re-examined myself, and I'll continue to re-examine myself. But as Americans, we have to really start taking note of this. Don't tell me that you're about Jesus Christ or you're about God and you're about this. Unless you're doing the things that the people at United Breast Cancer are doing, unless you're doing the things that the people of America's Vet Dogs are doing, there's a lot of people there's a lot of really good Americans with their hearts in the right place.
Right.
It's just that they're not getting the limelight. They're not getting the shine,
Right.
you know? And even as far as like when I walk the streets, I like to walk the streets at night and where I live. I live in a great state of Missouri. And it's great for many reasons. One of the reasons is I'm a Second Amendment person, and you can say what you want about St. Louis, murder capital, this, that, and the other thing. I'm always safe when I'm walking the streets of over there because I know that I could protect myself, I could defend my life if I need be. But and it's not without its faults. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the roads over there are just as terrible as the roads are in New York. But who are we as Americans? What are we all about? Are we going to unite? Are we going to stand with each other?
Right.
Are we going to concern ourselves with our food supply? But when, if I go out for a stroll on a Saturday morning at 7:00 in the morning in St. Louis, the people that I see working, the laborers, I laugh. I make fun of them, and I make a joke of it. These are the new arrivals. These are the guys. These are the people that just got to this country, regardless of where they came from. And I don't agree with an open border, and I believe that you should come here the right way, where you should go through the process. But the one thing about that it's easy to see, even when I was walking the streets in New York just recently when I was there, the people that are out there early on a Sunday morning and steam cleaning the sidewalks where they are standing, those are the new arrivals. And where are your children? As a parent, where's your child? What kind of child are you raising? Are you raising the type of child who stays up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning playing video games in the basement, then sleeps till 11:30 in the morning and gets up and says, "Ma, where's my breakfast?" Well, if that's the kind of parent you are, and that's the kind of child you're raising, you are the greatest threat to our country. You're a detriment to society as a parent. And because you're raising a kid that's doing what? Playing video games in a basement till your kid should be out on a Saturday morning alongside those new arrivals. You should be the ones laying the brick. Those kids are the ones that should be putting the fences up. Those guys, because I go across to there, I see these guys, they're there early Saturday morning, working their ass off. And they're working, man. They're working. So it gets back once again. We could chirp all we want. Chirp, 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 chirp about this, that, and who's taking jobs. Really, the reality is who's taking the jobs is AI. We had a long discussion about AI tonight at dinner.
Yeah.
We're worried about, people new. I'm going to call them, yes, there are legal people, but I'm talking about the new arrivals. Those new arrivals, they're the ones that pick the fruit. Your kid ain't out there picking fruit. You're eating berries in the morning. Who picked them? Did your kid go out to the farm and pick those berries? No, they didn't. It's those new arrivals that came and picked those berries.
Well, when our ancestors came in years ago, the right way, I don't want to say right or wrong. I remember my grandfather, he had 8 kids. We had a lot in our family, and my grandfather was out there. He actually went to neighbors and used their yards to farm, and he sold all the crops to the neighbors, and that's how he made money. And it was, it was hard working. I get it, but they came in legally and stuff. Everybody came here and worked.
And the Italians were discriminated just the same when they came here. This is nothing new.
Yeah,
they didn't want us here. One of the biggest, one of my, I don't know really how to put it. It disgusts me, but on March 14th in 1891, 11 Sicilians were lynched in New Orleans. And at that time, America was just getting over the Civil War. The military wasn't strong. Italy was very upset about it. And to smooth over the Italian community in Italy, for 11 Sicilians being lynched, they gave the Italians Columbus Day, which in my eyes, Columbus was a northern Italian who sailed for Spain. So how do you smooth over 11 Sicilians being lynched by giving a day to a northern Italian who sailed for Spain? And then it became an official holiday, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt made an official holiday during World War II because why? Because he wanted the Italians to go kill other Italians. Now we're going to argue over Columbus and Indigenous Day. It's a mute argument. It's a stupid argument. Columbus has no place in my history. I'm a Southern Italian. He has no place in my history. Who has a place in my history is those 11 Sicilians who were lynched. That should be our day. That should be the day that the Americans of Italian descent should be fighting for. Not that we're fighting for some guy who sailed for, regardless. Okay, he proved that the earth was not flat. Granted, I'll give him that. He had the guts to go out there with the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Those are Spanish ships. And they celebrate Columbus Day in St. Louis big. And they asked me to go and ride on the floats. And I told them I'm not going. Oh, why not? Because of those very reasons. You're not rubbing salt in the wounds on my behalf, man. And you want me to argue with other people about Indigenous Day and all this, that, and the other thing. That's just nonsense, man. And when you talk about being woke up, why don't you wake up and smell the Cafe Bustelo, wake up and smell that espresso. The day that we should be honored, the Americans of Italian descent, to honor our heritage, is March 14th. And just the acknowledgement of that's the biggest lynching in American history. And I did not find out about this because, I found out. And here's another thing about that. When that happened in the New York Times, Teddy Roosevelt said it is a rather good thing that 11 Sicilians were lynched, because the only form of life lower than a Negro is a Sicilian. This is in the New York Times, and he became a president. I did a report on him when I was in the 6th grade, stand quiet, carry a big stick, all of that stuff. And it's all came to light of me. Bring back to the Thin Red Line, the casting director from the Thin Red Line, Diane Crittenden, she called me in for an audition. And she says, I really would love to read you for this movie. And when I opened up that script and I said, what? 11 Sicilians were lynched in New Orleans in 1891? What? They didn't teach us that in school.
I never knew that. Did you, Sal? Did you? I never did.
They didn't teach us that in school. What they want to hide it, huh?
You just taught me that. I never knew that.
I never knew it either. No.
I'm Sicilian, 100%.
Me too.
And we're gonna go stand up for Columbus? Like, really, bro? He's not our guy. Especially, we know that the North does not appreciate the South. I met a fella in St. Louis. He's a Northern Italian. And he was not too shy to tell me that he was raised, his father told him that anything south of Rome was Africa. To which I says, yeah, I got rhythm and I tan easy, bro.
Wow.
Okay. But now the only people that could be celebrating Columbus Day is the Northern Italians who want to spit on us Southern Italians and say, yeah, right, exactly. I use the word. They're dummies. They're dummies. We rub salt in their wounds every year, and then they got to argue with these other people, the indigenous people, and then next thing you know, the descendants of the Italians, they're arguing with the indigenous people over a day given to a guy who basically looked at us like we're not Italian, we're African. Yeah. And on top of that, he sailed for Spain. Why did they hide this from us in school? Why did it take me an audition in Hollywood? And you could say whatever. People want to profile us in Hollywood. Hollywood is at the forefront of everything, man. We're forward thinkers. We're creatives. If you look at Stanley Kubrick, Space Odyssey 2001, it's about a computer taking over. And guess what's happening now? When you go to the supermarket, it's a computer. That the kid that used to, in my day, the kid would get a job at the supermarket. Usually it was a girl who worked at the cash register. She met the people of the community. She learned math. She had a job. She had a responsibility. She went to work. Right? Now they got a computer. Well, Stanley Kubrick was telling us this was going to happen in the 60s. In the 60s. And now it's happening now. And then I go on an audition for a movie and I found out, wow, I did a report on Teddy Roosevelt And you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because he did do good things. He broke up monopolies. He created national parks and all of that other stuff. But I did a report on Teddy Roosevelt like he was my hero. Meanwhile, what he thought of my ancestors was, and I'm proud to be from the Southern Italian. Like I says, I tan easy. I play the drums. I got rhythm. And when the DNA comes back, and I didn't do my DNA, but people in my circle have. And yes, I have African blood. I have Albanian blood. I have Lebanese blood in me.
Yeah,
I have all of those in me.
I never did the DNA. I was always afraid to do that. Like,
I'm not gonna.
They're gonna make another friend that's gonna walk around out there. I'm like, oh no.
Double trouble. But
Yeah,
no,
double
I
trouble.
wouldn't do it neither. I wouldn't do it neither myself. But that's just me, because you don't know what they're doing with that
Well,
stuff.
that's
But
why I never touched it. I always had that in the back of my mind. What the heck are they doing with DNA? Why do they want? That's okay.
I had a long conversation. I had a long plane ride, and I sat next to a scientist who's working on RNA. He's a German scientist who's working on RNA, because I took a flight out of Dallas. And those are the conversations that, boy, I just love listening. Just pile on questions. And, sometimes you get people that don't want to talk about stuff, but then you get these guys. I'm like, hey, man, So I just say, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Oh, I'm going home to Germany. You live in Germany? Well, I work in Houston or Dallas, whatever. And he said, oh, yeah, what are you doing? He's telling me I'm working on RNA. So I got a whole, whatever education I got on RNA right then and there. But, back to Columbus Day, that's not a holiday to celebrate the Italian American experience. The day that it shouldn't be celebrated. Banks should be closed. Schools should be closed, and the whole world, the whole nation should know what our ancestors went through when they came to America. Yeah. And that entails the biggest lynching in American history.
I never knew that. None of us did. So you educated a lot of audience and a lot of us, because people coming on.
Thank you for Hollywood, right? Thank you for those screenwriters. And they did make the movie. It's with Christopher Walken. Oh, I forgot the name of it, but they did make the movie. Who's just an awesome actor, man.
We got to find that. We got to watch that. Now I want to know what's going on with that. It's crazy. But we got a few more minutes, Larry.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug your movie and explain?
Yeah, I wrote and directed a movie, and it's based on a play that I wrote. It came to light. I wanted to study with Al Pacino's coach when I first started acting. I dove down deep. I was a drummer, and they came up with the drum machine. Music scene was changing back in those days. And I figured, let me get in. I took an acting class. They said, you got something. And I says, okay, I'm going to go with it. I felt good about it. I was passionate about it. I started studying with Al Pacino's coach, Charlie Lawton. And when I was studying with Al Pacino's coach, Anna Strasberg brought in a playwright from London, Stuart Brown. And I started to realize that, you don't need a lot of money to do a play. And there was one night that I walked into the Marilyn Monroe Theater, which was at the school, at the Institute. And Bridget Fonda was doing a play with an actor by the name of Billy Otis, 2-character play. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, man. Like, you could write a piece about characters and you could actually put it up as a play. You don't need the movie stuff. You don't need the cameras. You don't need any of that stuff. And we did it as a work in progress. I played one of the roles. It's a story. It's set in 1986, New York City. It's a story of a drummer and a guitar player, two lifelong friends at the crossroads of their lives. And from it becoming a work in progress, we put it in front of a live audience, so the piece was able to evolve. Then it went to off Broadway. We had a director for that, Robert Heller, who had a history. He was, he was more experienced than us. We were young fellas, and he directed it. And that's where Joy Todd, Sylvester Stallone's casting director, found me. Ended up in the movie with Sylvester Stallone. Then I went to Hollywood, and we did it again, where I played Mikey, the guitar player in that particular production. And that's where it first came to light. And when my agent at the time, his name was Darryl Marshak, he was one of the best agents I ever had, very creative. He says, shoot the play. I say, shoot the play. I mean, it's a play. He goes, no, go see a movie called My Dinner with Andre. Watch Jim Jarmusch movies. So he really helped me develop my craft as a writer and an artist. which a lot of agents don't do. They just want to get you a job, which I understand. They got high overhead. And it became full circle. And then when I had the opportunity to film it, I was like, okay, obviously I'm not going to play a 23-year-old kid from the Bronx. So we cast it, and we got some terrific actors. And I did do some rewrites. I did so many rewrites, and the piece evolved. And I highly recommend table reads. When you get the script, and never accept your first effort. I've worked with some of the top screenplay writers and directors in the business on screenplays. A lot of people don't know that about me. It evolved and evolved and evolved. And then we opened it up into a full-length feature film. And there was 3 roles that I could have played, but I didn't want to. One of the roles, Anthony Mangano plays a great, terrific role. Pete Antico, he's a longtime friend of mine. He plays a great role, another role I could have played. And then Chuck Zito, who I cast as the loving, caring dad, which when I told the casting director I want Chuck Zito to play the father, she was like, you mean the bouncer? I said, no, I want Chuck Zito to play the father. And she's like, are you sure? Which kind of like, you don't ask the director if he's sure or not. That's just not okay, man. And I was like, of course I'm sure. I've worked with some really phenomenal actors. I've studied with, Charlie Lawton was one of them, and I know how to get a look deeper inside of people. And there was dimensions to Chuck, where I seen him interact with my dog, or I seen him interact with other people, and I says I could definitely pull this out of him. And did you see that scene, Fran? I think I sent you that scene.
Yes, I did. It was great. I loved it.
Right. So that was an opportunity for me to, give them guys a chance to shine. I mean, Pete is just a longtime friend of mine. He's been pining for a role like that forever, and he was a great asset on the set because he's been a stunt double for Robert De Niro. He's been a stunt double for a lot of top people, and his knowledge of filmmaking was an asset on the set. So I got 3 actors. We are Mangano, Antico, and Zito, who are phenomenal in the movie. And there's things like with the movie where it's complete, and there was private showings here in Europe where I was told that the movie is a European movie, and had some really fantastic meetings bouncing off of that, where I'm not looking to rush it out there. It's a piece of art, It's not a vanity piece.
You said that, and you're
And
going to be bringing it out to Long Island very soon, right?
There's a strong possibility that we'll have a showing in Long Island. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen because of these new developments, But potentially, if I were to do one in Long Island, it would be at the Belmore Showplace.
Right.
They have 300 seats, and what I would do with that is I would do it so. All proceeds would go to United Breast Cancer Foundation or America's Vet Dogs.
Right.
The logistics of doing that right now is a little difficult for me because I don't live in New York anymore.
Right.
But I mean, this is a possibility. But the last couple of days, a couple of things that have been going down, it's just like we'll see what happens. That's all I can say. But I know that it's confirmed from these sources and these filmmakers here. It is definitely a really good movie, and the entire cast is just, they've done a great job. The last that when we were doing a final production in California, the guy that was working on the movie he's worked on a lot of movies, and when we were almost done with it, he and I went to the studio one day. He says, he goes, this is an actor's piece, and each and every one of these actors, they deserve accolades.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve it, and they're just terrific, and their work has to go out there. And it's been a long, hard road. I mean, I don't want to go into all the stuff that I've been going through in the last whatever. If you want to go into that down the road, that'd be cool. But yeah, it's
I understand, because sometimes you get a production it hits bumps in the roads, and it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and it can take a while.
Mm-hmm.
That happened already lot of different productions.
The best thing that happened to me on that was I found out who my real people are.
Yeah.
You know, it was a long ride, and who took it with me? A lot of people jumped off. You know, they jumped off that
Right.
wagon.
We
So
know
that's
that,
that.
right, guys? We know that. We were just talking about that. Gene and Sal, we know who is there, who's got your back, and who doesn't when it comes to certain things, right? We had that conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tough times shows you who your tough friends are, right?
Right.
Yeah, but we're here, and I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you helping get that thing going with United Breast Cancer Foundation,
Yes.
the leather jacket, America's Vet Dogs, and it's November 9th is the event. But you could go online, you could and you could join us in helping these people. I'm not sure if America Vet Dogs has their stuff up yet, but look for it. Maybe you could do like next week or something. We could talk about it, or when I come to New York,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'll be there. Yeah, and I want to rock and roll. I mean, Sal, you play, right?
Oh yeah, he does.
South does.
I mean, that's gotta happen, man.
We got a jam, brother. We got a
I
jam.
jam. You got a drum set where you're at? Let's go.
And there's
Let's
a lot
do
of
it.
places that have open mic jams. They got equipment already on the stage. Get up and play.
Yeah. I'm a little shy. I like to go into a rehearsal studio and just hit play and record and see what we come up with.
Oh yeah, okay. That's
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
if you could do that, man, I'm like rock that roll, man.
I
I might
want
have
to
to.
see that, man. I want to be there with that one.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah. We're gonna write a song about Fran's lasagna.
And then I'll make lasagna after that.
Wow, you know what I mean? It looks like we got a date there. It's gonna happen. There's got to be I mean, I want to ask you on air, but there's got to be rehearsal studios out. We'll get out over there. Oh yeah, one other thing about the Rock in the Bronx song. I wrote that with a guy from Long Island named Filmography.
Okay.
Just so you know, another Long Island guy. I don't know where he went. I ain't seen him in decades, but we wrote that in a horse stable off of Gun Hill Road in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of stories, man.
The great thing about doing your own movies and you have your own music is that you can put your music in the movies as well. I mean,
Yeah.
80s and 90s, I was always working on getting a record contract. That's music was my number one thing. But then when I got into acting in the year 2000, I said, well, this is a good tool now. I mean, I've written over 100 songs in the past 45 years.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm in these movies, get close to the directors, and
yeah, if it fits, right? If it fits.
And I've gotten many songs in many, independent horror movies, Coalition.
Yeah.
Billion songs. I'll send you the clip of me.
Looking forward to it.
You sing in Italian too.
Yeah, I know everything,
Yeah.
But I'm
all right.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we got to do. We'll stay in touch, man. We'll jam.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Brother Gene's a musician too.
Yeah. What do you play?
I'm an old musician.
He writes songs, actually.
What do you play? What's your instrument?
I used to play trumpet, but I also play keyboards and bass guitar.
Ah, that's it, man. Well, there you go. We got a band right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fran, you play the tambourine or what?
That I can do it. My
play
sister
tambourine.
Tambourine.
Shake
it.
Shake it.
Come pick me up to your limo, though. I don't have no transportation. Come pick me up where my wife's got my car. So
okay. Well, I'm taking mass transit.
He's doing mass transit.
I'm mass transit. Well, I hope to see you all when I get to New York, man. It'd be great.
You'll definitely.
And if your movie plays, we'll definitely support it. I want to see
cool.
it. Good.
All right. Absolutely. Well, we'll be in touch.
The trailer a few times,
Thank you,
yeah.
It's a rock and roll movie about the rock and roll kid there.
Yeah, about a drummer and a guitar player from the Bronx circa 1986. When the music scene was changing in New York, it was getting the drum machines, right? Those drum machines were taking over.
In 86, I was out there constantly. Yeah. I was the first band to play the Limelight. Remember the club, the Limelight?
Yeah, talk about churches.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
My band was the first band to play there. I opened for all those musicians who played there after me. But in 1986, we were the first band to play.
You got how many guitars you got?
Oh, I got about 4 or 5. I got them all over the place over here. But I have bass guitars, and my guitar player for my band, he has about 300.
Nice.
But it's too much, It's like too much, taking up too much space.
Right.
But in my band, I was the lead singer and bass player. But I just play guitar, I play bass, a little bit of keyboard and drums because I used to run open mic jams all over the place. Like
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
Club Nirvana, we did some at the China Club, February's, Outfield, all these different places. So I would get up there. If a drummer didn't show up, I would get up and, even though I was a drummer, I'd be able to join in and keep the beat. There's over 400 videos of that on YouTube. You'll see me playing drums. You'll see me singing.
That's cool.
I'll send you all kinds of stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be there, man. Great Neck. Leonard's a Great Neck. November 9th, United Breast Cancer Foundation, and November 11th, Mulcahy's for America's Vet Dogs.
Yeah.
And, we'll see you there, man. Stay tuned. Check out the websites and, it'd be cool. I come back and do a little bit of right before the event. Just remind everybody.
Yeah, we'll do another one. We can get him back on, right? Could we, Gene? We'll get him back on again.
Sure.
We'll rock and roll. Right. All right, cool, man. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got to be up early. I got to take a ride.
Peace
All right.
out, Larry. I'm great.
Peace,
I'm
brother.
so happy you came on. We're
Thank
very
you.
stoked about this.
Cool.
And I know Sal's happy. He's putting his confetti on.
Yeah.
Gene, thank you for the platform too. And
Yeah.
Larry, I will
Thank
talk
you,
to you.
Gene.
My pleasure.
Take care. Good night.
All right,
See you.
brother.
Good night.
Arrivederci. Ciao.
Ciao.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later. Take care.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Go to sleep.
Hey.
Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went. It was pretty good. We went over like 13 minutes. That was
That's
good.
all right. It's okay. I know we're all like I got
We
another
got a lot
show I
of
gotta
people that were coming in there. I saw them from Australia and everything. We had
I
people.
didn't
Well, you know
realize
what's
it was
funny?
just 8 o'clock. I thought it was not even 8 o'clock yet.
You know what's funny is I'll tell you real quick. My good friend, I think I told you, Sal. My good friend, you go to his show every now and then. Chance, he runs Ford Madison Guitars in Fort Madison, Ohio, and he was with the Wrecking Crew years ago, and he knew a
Oh,
lot of people on the Wrecking Crew. So anytime I need instruments, he just sends them to me. It's like,
wow.
here you
Got a
go.
whole
Here's something I haven't
collection like
used in like
Sal?
20 years.
Well, you guys, let me tell you something. This has got to happen. You're going to jam with him. We're going to come in. We're going to have lasagna. I'm going to make lasagna. I'll have to eat carbs that one day. I'm sorry.
jam first, because if you give me lasagna, I'm not jamming.
Well, you got to jam first, then lasagna. And
Or a little bit lasagna taste, and then jam, and then go back to the lasagna.
That's all. But I'll do lasagna. I'll do my famous garlic bread. I'll do the whole shebang. Even though I can't, I'll eat it one day. I'll splurge. I'll probably
You'll
be
eat it?
sick, but I'll splurge.
You make it, you better eat it.
I know, but you know what it is? I haven't had carbs in 30, 40 days, and I'm like
God bless
dying
you.
for
God
something.
bless
But
you. How do you do? Listen, when I gave up pasta, that was like giving up my lifeblood.
I gave
could
up
not
everything.
give up pasta.
Literally, I
I
gave
gave
up
it up for
everything.
like 2 years.
I even
and
gave up.
couldn't-
I
like,
even
can't
gave up
take it
men.
anymore. I gave up bread. I gave up milk. I gave up, pasta. I gave up this. I'm like, what am I eating?
No, I didn't give up
But I-
anything. I just count my
I-
calories.
I eat steak. I eat mostly meat. It's a carnivore diet, and I mean, I do that and eggs and stuff like that, and I feel a lot better. My joints and everything. It's crazy.
Well, see, Sal, I had that carotid artery on the side here that was 95% clogged. So if I didn't do something, I ain't gonna be around.
Wow.
Yeah, you
That's
got
why I
to.
had to take drastic action. But giving up pasta, oh my God.
I haven't had any pasta, bread, or any carbs in 40-something days. Ugh,
Wow.
But
crazy.
like you said, the pasta in Italy and other countries is so
Different.
much better for you that doesn't
It's
have all this
different.
other, it's not processed the way
Well,
it is.
we found the pasta. My sister did. Well, I found it. And I told her about it. It's the only pasta you have to eat. And my sister found it somewhere. And I got to ask her where she got it. You can make it. It's the same that they make in Italy, the same ingredients. And it's expensive, but they sell it here somewhere. And my sister ordered it. And it's amazing, she said. So
As
I
long
have
as it
to
tastes
find-
like pasta to me, I'm good.
oh, it's pasta, but it's original, authentic Italy pasta.
Right. It's not as processed
There's no
or
crap in it.
processed
There's
in
like
all
2
this
ingredients.
chemicals and stuff. It's all
So,
chemicals.
Right.
Fran and Gene, you guys listened to my messages before. I send it. I don't know if both of you are hearing it or whatever, but me and Paul worked on the poster for next week.
Yeah, let's talk about our guests next week. Let's we're still live.
Yes.
So let's talk about who's going to
Oh,
be
we're
coming on
live
the
still?
show. Yeah, we're
Yes.
still live, yeah.
I thought we were off the air.
Not yet. Not
Oh
yet.
my
I
God.
Still
wanted
on.
to,
I'm looking live. Hey guys, we're
I
still
wanted
live.
to
Larry just
talk
had to
more
go to
about
bed.
the guests coming up next week, real quick.
Yes,
Go ahead.
we have Desi Hillen now. So I talked to Sal about it. He's from Cheryl Dobbins is going to come on with us also. Cheryl, if you're there, she introduced me to Desi. And I listened to his stuff and it's amazing. Sal, you listened to one of his tracks, right?
Well, this is what I did. Me and Paul worked on the poster last night till 2 a.m. The track, the song that he sent you, we'll have Gene play that song during the show.
Yeah.
But on the poster, we put on one of his other songs that Paul found that is more upbeat.
Okay.
So it came out great. I'll send it to you guys as soon as we're off the air. It's beautiful. So we're not going to change it. I love it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Well, to see there's something you guys didn't know, but since I was doing a show in Australia a couple of years ago, Desi was one of the guys that we played all the time. He was a great musician. He's good friends with a lot of my friends in Nashville and different areas that are musicians, country musicians and whatever. And he's I've known him a long time. He's good friends with my friend Howie Garut, who's Southern Country Radio's owner, I believe. And he runs that.
People. The only reason I met him is when I put my film page over to Film Music, which I can't get on anymore. Something's going on with that.
They're blocking you. They're blocking you.
Something happened. They got me restricted again. I'm just annoyed with Facebook. But Cheryl introduced me to Desi, and I started listening to his stuff, and I was like, wow, he's amazing. And his voice. And he has a guy that he sings with, another what's his name? Oh gosh, I had it on there and I should have wrote it down. But they're doing something, collaborating something now, and he told me it's going to be coming out. But really, Cheryl introduced me to him, and I'm very happy, and that's why she's going to be coming on with us next week as a guest appearance, because of the fact that she introduced me to Desi, and because of her, he's coming on the show.
Cool. I have never heard of him before, to be honest with you. Yeah. But that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of people I never heard of. I mean, I know a lot of people, but there's a lot of there's a lot I don't know. People always say to me, Sal, is there anybody you don't know? I said, yeah, a lot. I know a lot of big people, and I've worked with a lot of big people. There's a million musicians out there.
Yeah.
And, I've listened to his stuff, and it sounds great. I just never heard of him before.
Well, that's how it is. That's the best ones. When, let me tell you something. The raw people that never hear of, that they're not like that in the spotlight like you think. Those are the best ones. Those are the ones that really give it all. Like the actors we were talking about. The indie actors, like the people that are coming up, and the new people, the even indie writers and the filmmakers. Those are the best because they give you everything they have. Yeah. Their head's not, up someone's cooler, Italian word for.
There's so many. There's too many people on this planet, and there's too much talent. Because especially now the internet. You go back to the 80s and the 90s. We didn't have all this kind of stuff, so we knew all the people. Like, I always thought like guys like Van Halen and Jimmy Page, the greatest guitar players in the world. Right. Now you see kids on TikTok that's 6 years old who play better than those guys.
And singers too. You would think like you're saying, oh my God, Roger Daltrey, they're all like, oh my God. But then you go on YouTube because of the power of, Facebook now and whatever. You can't believe what goes on. I mean, I see people like the guy from Journey. We were just talking about that last week.
Right.
He just got discovered because of that from YouTube.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of people I know that I've seen, but I don't know their names. I'll give you a perfect example. We just had Larry Romano. I've seen him in movies, but I never knew his name.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen him in the movies.
Right.
Right. So
and I just never knew his name.
And you don't know.
How many movies you watch?
Walk over here.
Let's say you watch an Al Pacino movie.
Right.
And there's hundreds of people in the movie.
Right.
We don't know the names of all those people in the movie.
Right.
We just know the names of the main characters.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Unless you're just people who are real big movie buffs, where they write down, they know everybody's name in the whole movie. Right. I've never been that type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
walking.
And I'm not being mean by saying that.
No, you're not being mean. You're being truthful.
No, but you're telling the truth, man. You're telling what I was trying to say before. You're telling the truth.
Yeah, I so many actors, that that, and I've seen him. I saw his Lock Up.
Right.
I have movies with him on DVD that he's in, and
Right.
I've seen him, but I just never put two and two together. I didn't know his name.
Right. Right.
And I was not a big. I never watched that show.
King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah,
That was
see
my
it
favorite.
flipping through the channels. I'll see it, but I didn't know the show that well.
I told him, I said, I always watch the King of Queens, and when you came on, you were my favorite. I said,
Yeah.
I had kind of a crush on him when he was on King of Queens because he made me laugh my ass off. Excuse the French. He was funny. He was a good character on that. He brought in a lot of funniness. I mean, that whole crew in the King of Queens, they had great chemistry. They had great.
Yeah. From watching, because he was going to be on the show, I started watching a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Right.
And I watched the clip where he's on the couch talking to the guy and all that.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of Joey from Friends in those.
Yes, exactly. Joey from Friends, right?
The same type of
right.
Image and which was great. I love that image. It's funny. But I didn't know, like how many people know me? There's people that know me, but there's millions that don't know me.
Right. Millions that don't know me. Well, there's always millions of people that don't know you, and it doesn't matter what you're in. You can be in any media.
Right.
They don't know you.
Nobody's famous until
you're famous. Until you're really famous.
Until you're like Michael Jackson and John Travolta.
Yeah, right. Staying alive.
There's still famous people that we don't know.
No.
There is. I mean, you see movies, but they don't.
I get it.
You get it? Capisce?
Yeah,
What's on the ceiling? You're looking at the ceiling again. What's going on?
I don't know. My cat's over there. Give me the
one. Cat's on the ceiling?
No, I look over there because he's over by the window. He drives me nuts. My cat, for some reason, animals, whatever it is, they got clocks. In the morning, he wakes me up like a pain in the ass. And at nighttime, he wants me to start running around, throwing balls, open windows. And I'm ready to fall on my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it was a great night. I really had a good time tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Larry does wonderful things. I know, he
is
very good with his animals and the Breast Cancer Foundation and the military dogs, Tunnel of Towers.
Yes.
He's got a good heart. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Absolutely. I've been watching his stuff on YouTube. He does a lot of stuff with the dogs, Christmas time, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he loves animals.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad I met him, and it's all because of you, or else, I didn't really know him, and now me and him became friends.
I like him because he's outspoken. Not everybody, some people can't handle that, but I do. I'm outspoken. You know me. Yeah. You're outspoken. We're outspoken.
Like the song says.
What? It's good when you're like that sometimes because, you can't be in a bubble and make believe you're someone else when you're not. You just tell it as it is. I do it, and it might offend people and some people if it does, and if it don't, and if it does, then don't listen. That's what I tell everybody. Don't listen to me if you don't like it.
Tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed, man. Just put your conscience to the side. Tell it like it is.
I love that song.
That's a great song, yeah.
Heart, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That was a cover, though, right? Because somebody else originally redid that.
That was from a long time ago. That song, right?
Yeah. They did it great, though. I mean, Ann Wilson, forget about it. What a voice.
What a voice, yeah.
Oh, forget about it. Incredible.
You should try to get her on sometime.
I never met her in person. I met the whole band of Heart, but not her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they came to the China Club one night. The guys, but she stayed in the hotel room, and the sister, Nancy.
Oh.
But her I didn't meet. I never met her. Ann Wilson.
Crazy.
Yeah. We're still on live?
Still live. Yeah, we're getting ready to end in a couple minutes. Yeah.
This is like you could have watched Enter the Dragon as long as this show. 90 minutes over here.
But this is good because now you guys have a gig with Larry Romano. You could jam. Now you're going to jam. You see, you made a connection tonight now. You're going to jam with Larry Romano. You're going to have my lasagna. And then you never know where it's going to go. Now you can just, hey.
Madonna mia. Where did Paul go? Paul must have signed off. Else he would have been.
A lot of people
all signed off. Cheryl's
well, they thought it was over, but Cheryl's around a little. My sister was watching. My nieces were watching. My nephews were watching. Cheryl, there were people from Australia coming in. I saw so many people coming on, and we're gonna get a lot of views tonight, guys. I think, you know what? We're a good team. I love you guys. I'm glad we all met. We're getting to really feel this now. I love the people that everybody brings on. We all click good, but
That
I
was
don't know.
funny before what happened earlier today. I was like, uh-oh, I thought Larry was going to come on like an hour early or something like that.
And then he deletes everything, this
I
clown.
said, let me go because I figured people would think it's 7 o'clock.
No.
So I said, if they go on early, I said, let me take that down.
I
But
felt
back
bad for him because he's in.
She
And
froze
he's
up.
like, I'd be snoring at 2:00 in the morning. I would be like, don't be putting me on the line.
Well, we could listen. If something like that happens again, we can always do an earlier show.
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
know.
home, I can do an earlier show. But once I set the thing up, I set it for the time.
Right. Well,
now, Larry, gee,
Yeah, let me know.
every week you send a new link. You can't use the same link all the time?
No, it's different because that's the way they set it up. That's the way the software set up. Now they're doing updates. That's why I'm real slow. Look at how slow I am.
Yeah, no, I was wondering why. Because originally I had saved the first one you sent me, and that's why I couldn't get on. Remember, I was having a hard time getting on.
Well, me too. I had the same problem.
Yeah,
Right,
it's a new link it's a new link every show because when you set it, they send you they give you a new link and the other reason is because they don't want other people to share the link unless you're going to use the show, so other people don't invade the show.
Okay.
Hack the show, stuff like that.
That's fine. I just never know what the reason was. I figured let me ask you while we're on live.
That's the reasoning. Oh, I just want to let you guys know too. Next week, well, this week I'm going to be releasing my Halloween album.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Great.
It's called My Happy Halloween Bits and Pieces.
Oh, that's going
to be like 30 tracks. 30 tracks.
Wow.
All original songs?
All original songs.
Wow.
You wrote 30 Halloween songs?
I wrote over 300.
Halloween songs?
No, I mean all kinds of songs, Christmas songs.
So in other words, it's not a Halloween album.
No, this is going to be a Halloween album with a lot of Halloween tracks, but there's all other songs on there. It's called Bits and Pieces because there's other bits and pieces for a Halloween theme.
All right. So
you get it.
Definitely put that on my page. Everybody, I just want to let everybody know who's watching this right now. And you guys, I'm having an issue with my film and music page. I don't know why I'm restricted. Facebook never tells me why. I overshare or something I put up goes against community standards. It's ridiculous. This has been happening to me constantly. I'm an administrator and it's my own page and I'm restricted from my own page.
Right.
You get in trouble. Let me ask you something. I've been doing the show with the light on all the time like that. Does it look better with the light on or off?
Off better.
It looks better off.
Off.
Okay, so next week I'm gonna not put that light on because I got light over there, light over there.
Yeah,
no,
more than
that one's better because you don't get the glare. I like it better.
Perfect. Now I know. That's what I'm gonna ask you guys.
I think I'm gonna put the lamp in front of my face next week. I think it'll make me look better. I don't know.
And didn't her vocals get better since?
I think he had something going in the background because he had a lot of static in the back. I think somebody had a TV on or something because
I know I heard something.
Yeah, it was something from his video, and I'm going to talk to him about that if he comes on again.
When it's over, friend, watch the show. Most of the beginning for a long time, you couldn't understand what you were saying
because he had something going on. It was like a bounce off thing, right?
Feedback.
Yeah.
Right, Gene. When we lost him, Fran was completely clear.
There was something that somebody sounded like they had a TV or something on. So
that was weird. That was so weird.
Yeah, but that's I know because I know we never really have a problem. I'm fine now, right? I don't hear no bouncing, no static, no nothing.
Wait until you guys see the poster Paul made last night. He was up till 2 a.m. It looked dynamite.
Wow.
I've seen it already. It does.
Oh yeah, as soon as I get off the air with you guys, I'm gonna send it to you.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. That guy, what's his name? Denzel Washington.
Desi.
Oh, Desi. He doesn't mind if I call him Denzel Washington.
Ask him that. Don't ask.
Yo, Denzel, what's up, Desi?
You're crazy.
He's a good guy. He's a real good guy. I've been wanting to interview him for a while too. I've been wanting to interview him for a while, but we've never got the right time to do it.
You see, I'm getting everybody in. I'm getting
You're doing amazing. You do what you do. You do.
I'm grabbing Larry. I grab him. I tell them.
You're gonna grab them all.
Listen, you know what? Whatever, man. As long as they're good guests, we have them on. I I'm ready to start getting some big names, but I'm just letting you guys get whoever you
No,
want.
you go get some big names because after next week, I'm going to take a 3 week a hiatus. You're going to start doing 2 weeks.
No, okay, absolutely. So next Wednesday is
There's
Desi,
Desi, and
and
then
then I'll book after that.
okay.
Yeah, I got some good people. I've been talking to Mason Reese. I've been
Oh,
talking
I know
to
Mason. Mason, good guy.
I've been talking to Jackie the Joke Man.
Oh yeah, Cheryl
Oh,
knows
him
him.
too. Great guy. Another great
All
guy.
friends of
Cheryl
mine. And
knows
they say,
him.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking to Robin Zander, the singer from
Oh,
Chief Trick.
please get him. My
Oh,
wife
that's
wants him.
awesome.
These are all friends of mine. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to people from Oz. I'm just building it up little by little.
Way to go.
Oh, that's
Way to go.
good. That's a good one. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Let's get those people on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sponsors.
So
sponsors
I've been working. I'm keeping in touch with all these guys, telling them I got a new show happening, and you guys got to be on. It's on live on all these platforms, and they're like, "All right, sounds good to me." I said, "I'll let you guys know when." So many great musicians as well, and actors, and
Yeah, I know because you have a list. I mean, you got a list just as much as all of us. I'm glad because the three of us collaborating together with who we know and what we know.
yeah, my friend
We'll
Larry.
always
Larry
have a great
Mitchell,
lineup on here.
my friend Larry Mitchell, guitar player, black guitar player, Larry Mitchell.
Yes. You
We're
tell
still
me.
on live, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. We're on
I just
live.
We're gonna end in a couple
black
minutes.
guitar player. That's not right. Should have said that. Guitar player. Yeah. But I say black guitar player because you might not know who Larry Mitchell is.
Yeah.
You know who he
That's
is?
all right. I've heard of him.
I
but
heard
don't-
of him.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's played with everybody, but he's a good friend of mine. And who else? There's so many people. I got a list of people. I got my clipboard over there. I've been writing down friends of mine. You know.
All right. So we'll be surprised. Surprise us with some.
Yeah, I
'Cause I'm
talked to my
excited
friend.
with this.
You know Erica Aliniak.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we interviewed her a couple of years ago. Yeah,
You interviewed Erica Aliniak,
Erica. Yeah. Mhm.
the blondes from Baywatch. And,
Yes.
and Beverly Hillbillies. You did.
Yes.
Where
did.
is this video? I want to see it.
Let me see if I can find it. It was on another show, another host
Okay.
of mine. But
Because
I
I've been
had
trying to
this-
find some of your shows because you told me you had all these.
Well,
people
here's
tell-
the thing. Here's the thing. When it was that time around, what happened was it was on Facebook's channel, but it was on the Facebook channel of the person hosting the show. So, and it was on a YouTube channel of the person hosting the show. If they
Oh,
decided to delete most of the shows, that's nothing I can do about that. All I
Gotcha.
can do is try to find them.
Because whenever I
Yeah.
put your name, I put your name in the YouTube trying to find some of these shows, and there's some other shows
Yeah,
with some black lady talking to you and two
Well,
other guys. You sit at the table.
I can give you some of the names. Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island. We interviewed William Shatner, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kyle Burnett, Connie Francis.
Now you did this with the show that we're on right now.
Not only me, no, but see, not just me. There's other hosts. Like my other host was my friend Jimmy
Gotcha.
Deal from New York.
oh, okay.
I'm
Jimmy
trying.
and
I
I-
want to see some of these shows. That's why I'm
Well,
mentioning.
Jimmy and I were good friends. So a lot of them shows, like with Engelbert Humperdinck, I have that show on my drive. I could send that to you.
Oh, send it,
All right.
please. I want
Yeah,
to
I
see
could send that to you. I just got to go look for it. That's all.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely, yeah, because I
But,
said to
but,
myself,
but see, there was other shows before that and around that had more people as well. So it's not just me. Other
Right.
people. I mean, me and my daughter interviewed Bobby Rydell.
Oh,
right,
wow.
right.
And Bobby was
Yeah, no, I saw that there's some shows with you sitting
I'm
with a
gonna get
couple other
darker.
guys.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, we got to go, but I'll try to find what I can. I'll send what I can. I mean,
Yeah, don't worry. Don't
a
worry.
lot-
I don't go crazy. I just was wondering. I figured being you did all these shows, some of them might be on YouTube. But
a lot of them are. We just got to find them.
Sal likes to watch things. He's a movie buff. I hear
Yeah,
him.
but
Oh, I
I do.
understand.
All week I've been watching Larry Romano stuff.
Yeah, you said that. He would
And
keep
now
it
that
on top of
now
it.
that Gene told me about these interviews, I'm so curious to see some of these ones that you talked about.
Let me try to
Yeah.
find. See, I had a Roku channel, so I had them on that, and I also had a different channel that I had them on that. But I do have the shows. I should have the shows, the original shows.
Right. Okay. Cool.
We'll
Yeah.
go look for them.
Definitely want to see him. I love stuff like that. You know.
Me
Yeah,
too.
he does. Sal loves to watch and listen.
You know what? I
so-
like it too. If he had clips of it, I could snapshot pictures of it, and when we're promoting our show, show some of the people that.
Oh,
you
like
have.
then other, absolutely, sure, why not?
If you have like people William Shatner, Carol Burnett, like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
people
yeah.
like, oh wow.
They were absolutely amazing to interview because I'll be honest with you, they're just real nice people. And just, they give us their time,
Right.
and what time. I mean, my one friend, Elaine Ballas, she's good friends with Mel Brooks. I'm trying to get him.
Mel Brooks, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
look at, he's
Wow.
done everything.
Look at friends
Around?
walking around the house. Where you
What?
going? Where you going, Mama?
I was feeding the cat chicken.
Well, I'm going to run, guys. I got to go. Okay.
All right.
Nah, walk. Don't run. Just walk.
Yeah, all right. Well, it was a good
Good show, guys.
night.
I
and,
can't believe we're still on live. This is crazy.
that's
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
going to go. We got to run. I'll
Bye
All
get,
right.
I'll get this stuff to you, buddy.
Good night, guys. Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.